Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Curtis here, also known as the Unbox Fox. So this video is about my Holy Grail finds. So if you've never seen a video like this before, or you don't know what I'm actually talking about, it's films that I've really wanted on physical media that were like incredibly hard to find. Mainly a Holy Grail find is well, a Holy Grail item is something that you can't find, and then eventually you see it somewhere and it's like, oh my god, I finally found it, and you have to get it. um, so I've got quite a few here that I have actually managed to find on DVD. There's one Blu-ray which is like the ultimate Holy Grail find for me. But I'll just get straight into it and show you what I struggled to find and then eventually found. So to start off with, we have the BBC adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia. So I think I remember sort of watching this in school at like sort of Christmas time, when they'd, if you're old like me, they used to sort of drag a TV in to the classroom, and you knew you were going to have a great day because you were going to be watching a film or a video. Or, well, we used to watch this, and we only ever watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I tried to find this. I completely sort of forgot about it. And then obviously the Narnia films come out, the Disney ones. And then I was like, oh, I remember the ones on BBC. And I've been looking for years. I happened to go into HMV one day, and I was actually looking for the Disney Narnia ones, and next to it was this. And I was like, oh my god, I've got to pick it up. I think it was quite cheap as well. I think it was about a tenner. And it has The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. They're on that's like one series. Then the Silver Chair, and then the last disc is like special features, but it's got all four on there. So you've got The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and Silver Chair. I did watch these recently. I think my favourite one is obviously The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's everyone's favourite. But yeah, so that's first up was the Chronicles of Narnia, the BBC adaptation. Another TV show, like a kids' TV show, that I watched when I was really young, and I think we had a VHS of it. But obviously, I haven't got a VHS player anymore, and I wanted it on DVD if I could find it. And I managed to eventually find it on Amazon, and that is, if you've never heard of it, the Magic Faraway Tree. It's a Enid Blyton book that's been adapted into a few episodes. There's not many on here. It's not like every story, I don't think, but I really enjoyed this as a kid, and had to find it. Big fan. So I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you were a fan of the books. Maybe it's not incredible. It's just something for nostalgia purposes from when I was small. So yeah, so that was the Magic Faraway Tree. Next up, this is sort of not a Holy Grail find. This is something that I found that I didn't really know about, and was like, oh my god, I have to get this. But I thought I would show it in this video, as it's like, oh my god, I finally found it, or I didn't know these existed, and that is the RoboCop, the Prime directives, which are like, I think, yeah, 4 great full-length action films. I think they're sort of quite low budget TV films, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really looked it up, but I'm a big fan of RoboCop, and when I saw these, I was like, oh, I never knew these existed. So I had to pick them up. So yeah, that's RoboCop, the Prime directives. Another one I don't think I actually watched this as a kid. I heard about this when I was a teenager and never sort of really um, heard of this version of it. Um, and then I think I watched it. I think I managed to get it on VHS when I was younger. Um, Wanted to update it if I could, or if I could find it. And that is Walt Disney's Popeye with Robin Williams. There's probably a few people out there like, how have you never heard of this? But yeah, I'd never heard of it, and I had obviously I eventually got on VHS, really enjoyed it, and wanted to get on DVD. This was quite a struggle to find. I think I don't know if I got this online or if I like spotted it in like a charity shop or whatever. But as soon as I saw it, I had to get it because I knew it was like a rare film to find on DVD. So yeah, Walt Disney's Popeye. Um, Next up is another film that I watched in secondary school because we read the book as part of English. Really enjoyed the book. Quite a few people my age, or maybe older or younger, or have read this book at school. And I really enjoyed the film. I think we watched the film in school, and when I saw this, um, I knew I wanted it. And that's Of Mice and Men with John Malkovich and Gary. I can never pronounce his last name. Sinise, Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. Um, and yes, so I sort of hunted over the internet trying to look for it. I would like it on Blu-ray. I don't think it's ever going to come out on Blu-ray. It's just on DVD. It would be cool if we could get it on Blu-ray. But yes, I think I saw this online and eventually sort of managed to get it. I think it was like one of the last ones. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, haven't read the book, I really recommend it. It's a really cool film. It's sort of in the same sort of similar sort of vein as Green Mile, almost, with the same sort of aspect, but sort of slightly different storyline. Well, majorly different storyline, but in the same sort of vein as Green Mile. But yeah, really enjoy this film. I'm so happy to have this on physical media. Next up, it's another film I watched. The majority of these are films that I watched when I was small and was like, oh, I want these, you know. But it's and I managed to get the sequel, which I was quite surprised at. I will show that next. But I watched this when I was younger. Really enjoyed it. It's a really sad film, and that is My Girl. I thought this would be like really easy to get hold of, as I thought this was like a majorly popular film. But for some reason, I found it really hard to get hold of. And I think I got this one and the sequel, and I think I found it in a charity shop. When I was like, oh, they've got My Girl on DVD. Cool, I'll get it. And I picked it out of the thing and I was looking at it, and then I looked back at the shelf and I saw that this was with it. I've still never seen this. I've heard it's absolutely dreadful compared to the first one, but as I saw it and I knew it was rare, I had to pick it up. So that's My Girl 1 and 2. Yeah, again, another film I watched as a child and just really enjoyed. It's a fun movie, and I've got the 2 sequels. So I've got the free movie pack, and that is the Look Who's Talking collection. Slipcover keeps slipping off. But yeah, really, really fun movies. And I found these were really hard to get hold of. I think I managed to find these on Amazon eventually. But yeah, third one not so good. It's about dogs that talk. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, Look Who's Talking is sort of the inner thoughts of a baby, sort of thing, which does sound quite weird. But it's a really funny movie, and the baby is voiced by Bruce Willis in the first, second, and I think third But yeah, really funny sort of 80s movies. But yeah, so that's the Look Who's Talking series. Um, Next up, same thing as sort of My Girl. There was a film that I absolutely loved as a kid. I think I watched it once on TV, and like sort of fell in love with it. I thought it was a really cool movie. Another sad movie again. And yeah, again, it was the exact same thing as My Girl. I picked up the first one, and the sequel was right next to it, which was quite cool. And I've never seen the sequel, same as My Girl. And it's K9 with James Belushi. I really enjoy this film. It's quite sad, and it's like a bit like Turner H, sort of buddy cop, well, buddy dog cop sort of movie. Um, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. This is actually a really cool movie. But yeah, so that's K9, and then like I said, the sequel was right next to it, and it's K9 PI, which was quite a few years later, I think. I haven't really sort of checked this one out. I do need to watch it at some point. I don't know if it will be any good. Sometimes sequels back then weren't so great, but I'll check it out at some point and see what it's like. So that was K9 and K9 2. The other one, even though it's well, I would actually say this is quite an underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Not many people have heard of it that I've spoken to, like amongst friends and stuff. So I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but I really enjoy this film. And actually, reading it, I never knew it was done by Ivan Reitman that did Ghostbusters. But it's Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Emma Thompson. If you've never heard of this, and you like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, I would actually recommend this. It's quite a funny film. It's about Arnold Schwarzenegger getting pregnant. Yes. It's a strange movie, but it's quite comical. And I just thought it was funny as a kid, and I wanted it on DVD if I could find it. Yet again, walked into a charity shop one day, just browsing the DVDs and the physical media, trying to find some deals, and came across it and was like, okay, I'm going to pick this up. I know how rare this is, and I want it in my collection. So yes, that's Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Next up, this is yet again a bit like the RoboCop. I didn't really know anything about this. I spotted it in a shop, and I thought this must be rare to find on physical media because I haven't seen it anywhere. But I knew I wanted to pick it up because I am a big Monty Python fan. And it's Terry Gilliam's The Jabberwocky with a few of the Python lot in it. So I had to pick it up. I think I've only watched it once. I think I might need to watch it again. I can't really remember what happens in it. But yeah, I knew I had to pick it up as it was rare. So yeah, that's The Jabberwocky. Next up, this is a bad movie, but I did like it as a kid. There we go. It's Howard the Duck on DVD. I know it's bad. It's really bad, but it's just I picked it up for nostalgia purposes, and I think this might be more available now than when it was when I got this. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, I've already got it, so I wouldn't look for it again. But yeah, I don't know if this is more readily available or not. But yes, at the time that I picked this up, you couldn't find it anywhere. And yeah, again, for nostalgia purposes, from when I was a kid, I had to pick it up. Yes, it's very bad. When I watched it as a kid, it must have been a bit more fun. You know, when you're a kid, you're not really paying attention to the storyline. And I did watch it recently with a friend, and it was one of them things where it's like, oh, I watched this again. It was really fun, and we put it on, and I watched it, and we both went, oh, "This is awful." And my friend went, "Why did you show me this?" And I said, "Well, because I thought it used to be really good, and it's not." But yeah, so that was Howard the Duck. Next up is some Disney films, which are quite popular, I think, but you just sort of, when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, they actually released this on DVD. I did have them on VHS as a kid, and I didn't really know there was a third one because we only had the first two. But it's the Honey I Shrunk and Honey I Blew Up sort of series. And I did want these on DVD. I think I got this in HMV, and it was like the only one in there. But as soon as I saw it, yet again, nostalgia purposes from when I was a kid, I actually really enjoyed the first two. I think they're really fun. And I thought Rick Moranis was great at that time. And then obviously he left Hollywood to spend time with his family. But it would have been cool to see if Rick Moranis would ever come back. He did some really cool films. He was in Ghostbusters, Little Shop of Horrors, and so on. But yeah, that's another one that when I saw it in there, I was like, I have to pick this up. I love these films as a kid. So yeah, another one. Now I remember watching. This is another one that I sort of watched on TV. It was on TV just like once, out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh, what's this film?" I watched it. The Roald Dahl one. That not a lot of people really know about, I don't think, or really know that there was a live action of this, and it's Roald Dahl's Danny, Champion of the World. Now, I think I read the book in school when I was really little, and then this was on telly, and I was like, "Oh, there's a film with it." I didn't realize. I thought I would never get this on physical media. I wanted it separately. I did see it. I think it was this and another film in like a double pack, but I can't remember what the other film was. But I do remember it was a film that I didn't really like, or it was a film that I already had. But I wanted this separately if I could find it. And I think I got this. Where did I get this? I think I got this in Home Bargains, which is really odd to have a really obscure sort of Holy Grail sort of like film in there. They had like recent sort of Batman Lego movies like and stuff, but yeah, it was quite surprising to see this in there, and it was the only one in there, and I was like, I'm having it. So yeah, yes, Danny, Champion of the World. Next up is another one I watched as a kid. And I think I only watched like one episode of it, like over and over again. But I remember really enjoying it as a kid. It's not great, but nostalgia purposes. And it's Charlie Chalk. I never knew that there was a physical copy of this on DVD at all. I imagine it was on VHS once, but I never knew that it was on DVD. And this was another sort of walk around a charity shop looking for some physical media bargains, and this was like 50p, and I was like, I'm having it. Yeah, same again, nostalgia purposes from when I was a kid. So yeah, really hard to find, and I'm glad that I found it. This one, you understand why when I tell you why I'm like, oh. This is a DVD collection that I can't watch. I made a huge mistake online, but I thought I'd show off in this video, and I will be keeping this, even though I can't watch it, because it is what it is. And it's the Back to the Future, the complete animated series. I saw this on Amazon and was like, oh my god, like I've never seen it. I've heard about it. I've seen like tiny clips of it on YouTube, but I've never seen it. And I saw it on Amazon, and without even thinking about it or even checking, I just bought it, and then it turned up, and I was like, oh my god, I can watch it. I stuck it in my DVD player and found out it was region 1. So I can't watch it. unless I got a region free player, which I don't have. Which maybe I should maybe get one. But the thing is, if I did get a region free player, this would be the only thing I'm watching on it because, and but yeah, I think I did manage to find some episodes online and watch some of them, but yeah, so one I can't watch, which is upsetting. But this is a holy grail find for me. Like I have this on physical media, but I can't watch it, which is a shame. Next up is another film that I just happened to watch, and it was on TV, I think, one Easter when I was little. And I actually sort of think this is one of the best live action versions of this story. And it is this version of Alice in Wonderland with like Whoopi Goldberg as the Cheshire Cat, and it also has Christopher Lloyd as the White Knight, Gene Wilder as the Mock Turtle, Martin Short as the Mad Hatter, and Ben Kingsley as the Caterpillar. I thought this was really good. Thought I would never get this on physical media. Yes, again, found in a charity shop. So if you're also trying to find some films that are like your holy grails that you really want, I just recommend going to charity shops. That's where I found all my holy grails. It's nuts. And from like me being a collector and my perspective, if I had this and I had all these in my collection, I wouldn't give them away because I know how rare they are. So somebody's obviously thought, "Oh, I'll watch this," not realised how rare it is, chucked it in a charity shop, and I've gone in there and gone, "Thank you very much." But yes, so that was Alice in Wonderland. And last up is the Blu-ray, and this is like my top tier holy grail. When this turned up, I was like, yes, I have this on Blu-ray. Oh my god. I thought it would never happen because I thought that there would only be like a US import of it. But it's the Page Master. I think I have shown this off on my channel before, but this is my ultimate holy grail find of all time. I think this is majorly underrated, and I think the reason why, and I was sort of researched it a little bit, because I was like, this is such a good movie. Why did it sort of flop at the cinema? And I realised that it came out at the same time as Dumb and Dumber. It was the same month as Dumb and Dumber, so everybody would have been going watching that. And it also came out the same month as the Santa Claus, the Disney Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen. So I think this just went under the carpet a bit. When it came to them films, they would have been more popular and people would have gone and seen them. And I imagine, Disney being a big studio, they would have gone, "Oh, a Disney film," and it would have been Dumb and Dumber. And at that time, Jim Carrey was like the biggest thing ever, so they would have gone and seen that. And this wasn't. I don't think this was done by a really well-known film company. So yeah, it must have just on the carpet. So if you haven't seen this, I do highly recommend it. It's a really cool movie, and if you've got small kids and stuff, they will absolutely love this. I think it's all about storytelling and books and all that. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, do check it out. So that is all of my Holy Grail finds. Thought it'd be a cool video to share with you. I think there are still quite a few films that I would love to have on physical media that are just really hard to get hold of. As I said in a previous film, like one of my previous video that I did, where I was talking about my favourite films from each year I've been alive. Me and my friend were talking yesterday about Indian in the Cupboard, and all we could find online was a US import, and I would love to have that film on physical media. I do have a VHS of it somewhere, but yeah, again, I don't have a VHS player myself, so I won't be able to watch it unless I try and find it online somewhere or whatever. So yes, that would be one that I would like to find. There's quite a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but yes. I'm going to stop rambling on, and I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see some more from my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.